Willie and the boys.
I'm Virgil Holman. They call me Virgil the store guy, and I'm the manager of the store in Luckenbach, Texas. Coming to Luckenbach and working here every day, I mean, I see it. It's like a step back in time.
Paint on it, Jerry trains on the blue eyes, crying in the rain. Out in Luckenbach, Texas, ain't nobody feeling no pain.
Sie hören eine Folge der Audiotravels mit Henry Barchet.
Ain't nobody feeling no pain.
Der Nummer 1 Country-Hit Luckenbach, Texas, Back to the Basics, machte das kleine Geisterdorf im texanischen Hügelland, rund 9 Meilen entfernt von der Stadt Fredericksburg, berühmt, erzählt Virgil, der Manager des Dorfladens von Luckenbach.
In the mid-70s, Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings were having a big impact on country music. They were recording and playing in Texas. They'd had a lot of duet hits. So when they were approached with the song, Back to the Basics of Love, we know as the Luckenbach, Texas song, Waylon didn't think a lot of it, but Willie said, yeah, let's sing it. I'll sing the last verse with you. It was Waylon Jennings' second largest hit.
Durch den Charterfolg wollten plötzlich viele Country-Music-Fans wissen, ob es den Ort tatsächlich gibt.
Well, Luckenbach was already a Texas-wide destination. It became a worldwide destination. People from all over the world, I mean, they were coming to Luckenbach, Texas because of the song. A lot of people said, we didn't even know it was real. Was there a real town?
Dorfpoet Walt Perryman hat die Geschichte des Ortes in einem selbstgeschriebenen Gedicht zusammengefasst.
A famous author once said that Luckenbach is just a Texas state of mind. But you know, after it's been this way since about 1849. Things started hopping out when old Hondo Crouch came along. Willie had all his parties and Waylon Jennings sang a famous song. But I've been almost all this world. I see many people and places. There's nowhere I'd rather be than right here in Luckenbach, Texas, underneath this big old beautiful tree.
Denn tatsächlich gibt es den Ort Luckenbach schon seit 1849, als hier der deutsche Siedler August Engel den Ort gründete.
Yes, it was settled by August Engel in 1849. He bought the property and he started a trading post here. He traded with the Comanche Indians and the pioneers in 1849 here. He was an interim Lutheran preacher, and when he bought the property, starting the trading post here, then it actually stayed in the hands of the Engel family from 1849 until 1970. August Engel, his daughter became engaged to Albert Luckenbach. So she actually named the town Luckenbach after her fiance. And when they married, they went about 20 miles from here and they started another town called Albert. So Albert Luckenbach actually had 2 towns named after him. But this town belonged to the Engels, and the general store and post office ran as an actual general store and an actual post office until 1971.
Bis ins Jahr 1970 gehörte der Engelfamilie der gesamte Ort. Den Namen erhielt das kleine Weiler durch den Ehemann von August Engels Tochter, Minna.
August Engel, his daughter became engaged to Albert Luckenbach. So she actually named the town Luckenbach after her fiance. And when they married, they went about 20 miles from here and they started another town called Albert. So Albert Luckenbach actually had 2 towns named after him. But this town belonged to the Engels, and the general store and post office ran as an actual general store and an actual post office until 1971.
Doch Anfang der 70er Jahre war der Ort zu einem Geisterdorf geschrumpft. Gerade mal 3 Bewohner lebten hier noch. Das ganze Dorf stand zum Verkauf. Jetzt schlug die Stunde von Hondo Crouch. Zusammen mit 3 Partnern kaufte er die ganze Siedlung und machte daraus ein Zentrum der neuen Outlaw-Country-Musikbewegung.
Hondo Crouch and 2 partners, Geach Cook and Kathy Morgan, they went together and bought the town. Now, at that time, in 1970, there was a country music thing going on in the whole U.S. The Nashville sound was versus what they called the outlaw country sound. So a lot of those country artists that didn't want to stay in the box with Nashville music were recording in Austin and out in the hill country, and they started coming to Texas to do their type of what they called outlaw country music. And at that time, a lot of those songwriters started hanging out here. Jerry Jeff Walker, very good friend of Hondo's, Gary P. Nunn, Guy Clark, Ray Wiley Hubbard. A lot of those what are big country artists now were young upstart, writing and playing up under the trees like we have people do now daily.
Sie legten den Grundstein für das legendäre Terlingua-Album, ein Meilenstein der Country Music, das 1973 in der historischen Holztanzhalle von Luckenbach aufgenommen wurde.
They had put together the music. They had a guy that came out here and set up for a live recording in this dance hall, and it was the Viva Trilingua album. It was recorded here in 1973. It had a multitude of #1 country hits on it. It skyrocketed Jerry Jeff Walker into the country music scene. It's the reason I came to Luckenbach for the first time in the 70s. It's because of the music from the Viva Trilingua album. It had Guy Clark's song Desperados Waiting for a Train. It had Gary P. Nunn's London Homesick Blues. It had Ray Wiley Hubbard's Up Against the Wall, Redneck Mother. It had Little Bird, Backslider's Wine. I mean, all of those songs were so good. The album was so successful. People came in droves to Luckenbach then.
Und so war Luckenbach schon lange vor dem Waylon Jennings und Willie Nelson Duett ein fester Begriff der Country-Music-Szene. Während Willie Nelson oft nach Luckenbach kam, dauerte es viele Jahre, bis Waylon Jennings den Ort besuchte, der ihm einen seiner größten Hits lieferte.
Waylon Jennings didn't actually come to Luckenbach, Texas and play until a 4th of July picnic in 1996. That was the only time that Waylon Jennings was actually physically in Luckenbach, Texas.
Viele Country-Musiker kommen dagegen auch heute noch nach Luckenbach, um speziell diesen Song zu spielen.
Nearly everybody that comes here, before they're here, they know how to perform that song while they're here. So we hear that song 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times a day. It still means the world to me.
Doch nicht nur viele Musiker kommen in das kleine Dorf, sondern auch Paare, die ihrer Beziehung wie in dem Song eine neue Chance geben wollen.
The only two things in life that make it worth living is guitars that tune good and firm feeling women. I don't need my name in the marquee lights. I got my song and I got you with me tonight. Maybe it's time we got back to the basics of love. This successful life we're living's got us feuding like the Hatfields and the McCoys. Between Hank Williams' pain songs and Jerry Jeff's train songs and Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, out in Luckenbach, Texas, there ain't nobody feeling no pain.
Und Virgil, the Store Guy, glaubt fest daran, dass es tatsächlich einen weitreichenden Effekt haben kann, Luckenbach einen Besuch abzustatten.
That back to the basics of love, you bet. Get out of the hustle and bustle. You know, that's what the song says, you know, let's sell your diamond ring, buy some boots and faded jeans. A lot of people still come here for that reason, just to get out of that and get back to the basics in Luckenbach, Texas.
Baby, let's sell your diamond ring, buy some boots and faded jeans and go away. Cold tide choking me and your high society cried all day. We've been so busy keeping up with the Jones. 4-car garage and we're still building on. Maybe it's time we got back to the basics of love. Let's go to Luckenbach, Texas, Waylon and Willie and
Sie hörten eine Folge der Audiotravels mit Henry Barchet.
successful life we're living. Got a feud like the Hatfields and McCoys. 20 old Hank Williams paint songs and Jerry Jeff train songs and Blue Eyes crying in the rain. Out in Luckenbach, Texas, ain't nobody feeling no pain. Out in Luckenbach, Texas, ain't nobody feeling no pain. There you go. If Al's got a request,